You know that moment when you leave the movie theater after seeing a movie, and you really want to tell someone about that movie? These are those moments.
What's good, fools?
Welcome to Movies on the Move. We're here to discuss Lion. Rawr!
I don't even know what to say. I think you're gonna like Lion if you like the kind of films where a person is searching something for their past. I know that's something that's very specific, but this movie does it in a very unique way. It's not in a way you would normally think that a search movie would go. And what is that weird face you are making? That is frightening.
So I think Lion, for obvious reasons, is getting a lot of comparisons to Slumdog Millionaire. It stars the same actor. It's like an Indian American movie that is Oscar worthy, which we don't usually see. But I think after seeing both of them, I do like the way Lion goes about telling its story a little more than I like the way Slumdog Millionaire did it. The thing that really struck me about this movie is throughout the movie, it seemed like a movie that was going to have a lot of questions at the end. Like, there were so many questions going on throughout the movie that I was just thinking about, and I wasn't sure if they were all going to get answered. And unlike a lot of movies, it didn't really leave me with any questions. Really took advantage of all the time it was allotted. I think every single scene was important for telling this story, which, if you don't know, this is a story about a 5-year-old Indian boy who gets lost thousands of miles away from his home. No, he can't find his family. He ends up in a place where he doesn't even speak the language. He gets adopted by an Australian family, and 25 years after he got lost, he's struggling with this life that he left behind in India, and he tries to search out to see what happened to his mom and his brother, and I think it does a good job of telling that story. One other thing I wanted to say is that the way it does go about doing this, which I know we're saying it goes about in a very unique way, which seems strange because it actually goes about it in a chronological way, which is that it tells the story pretty much, as it happened chronologically, from him living with his family, to getting lost, to getting adopted, and growing up. But I think a lot of movies in the search things sometimes try to get fancy with it. Or not fancy, but in Slumdog Millionaire, obviously, he would be asked the questions, and it would go back to this, and go back to this, and go back to that, kind of bringing you into real time, and then going back. But I think this, which I wasn't really expecting before watching it, it tells you the story chronologically, and it still works, to good effect into you, getting to know this character, getting to know what he went through, and getting to know, why he feels the way he does, and just how his journey went throughout these decades that he was filled with questions.
I will say, though, it does kind of start with a slow pace. So if you're not somebody who can follow a movie that has like a slow pacing in the beginning, you may have issues with that, but it does pick up, starting from when he gets lost. Also, one thing I do like about this movie, in the beginning, when he's in India, the people speak in the native language. So there's none of this BS where they're speaking English with the Indian accent. No, none of that. They're speaking their native language, and there's subtitles appropriately so, which I like. And so if you don't like that, go see another movie, okay? Huh?
And in case some of you are wondering, why can't they just speak English to make it easier for myself? Watch La Vida e Bella, watch it in Italian, and read the subtitles, and then try to watch it in English, and see...
Well, that was dubbed over, and that was hideous. The way they dubbed it over in English, it just did not make sense. You feel this character struggle, and that's really, I think, key here, because his whole life, he doesn't know his identity, really, because he grew up in an Australian family. He knows this is not where he belongs. He remembers getting lost as a child with his brother, and it's so, oh my god, it's just so powerful, and if you watch this movie, I encourage you to think about what it would be like if you were in his shoes. If your whole life you've lived with this adoptive family, but you recall your biological mother and your biological family, and you went missing, and you know they're still looking for you. It's so sad.
So I give this movie 5 stars out of 5. Largely because of what I said. It answered all the questions that I wanted answered. It did it in a succinct, a tight, really moving way. A way that makes you feel for this character, and feel for his journey, and just have you, wanting to see how it all unfolds for him at the end.
Yeah. I mean, aside for, I would have liked a little bit more creativity with the cinematography and the editing, perhaps, but it was really, it was fitting the way it was done. And I also give it 5 stars for telling a well-rounded, great story.
Thanks for watching.
Stay tuned for our Oscar special video coming up. You do not want to miss it. And let us know what you think in the comments.
Oh!
By the way, we didn't know for a while why this movie was called Lion.
But there's an answer for that too.
Yeah, but
you'll have to stick to the very
I'm not
end.
gonna give that away. But we were speculating it was because of the way Dev Patel's hair was.
Yeah, he had a lion's mane, and his friends would call him Lion. So that's the reason.
See you next time.